Shalom, shalom, shalom. Call hello, Yahweh Bathsheba, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, Bathsheba, Karkadash. Peace, power, and blessings to the Father of lights and his beloved Son, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to you out there, Royal House of King David. Peace and blessings to the throne and to the sons, daughters, and the elect of Israel. Here for another message of daily edification. And I'm going to do a lesson on, I don't believe I've ever really went into this, but for the sake of education and edification, I feel it's necessary, even though I do know that when we get out of here, this act is going to be impossible to do, but I want to shed a little light on it because it's been very damaging over the ages. Even in the ancient world, under the first Davidic kingdom, it was, very destructive. It's a destructive force. And, I believe some edification on this is necessary. Voice getting better, y'all. Don't worry. I've been taking my, all right. And, been taking a couple of hot shots at night. Whiskey does wonders. So, take a couple of shots of Uncle Nearest at night before I go to bed. Help me sleep. And it's doing wonders for this phlegm, so I'm gonna continue doing that. But anyway, the topic that I'm going to cover today is adultery. It was on my spirit to bring it out once before, but something came up. I don't know what happened. It kind of just moved away from me, but I want to remain obedient through the spirit to bring out whatever it is the body needs, because what the world calls adultery and what adultery really is two different things. See, I'm going to read to you what the world calls adultery. All right. All right. Adultery, the meaning is voluntary sexual intercourse between a married person and a person who is not his or her spouse. Now, let me see if they got another angle. Adultery is generally defined as voluntary sexual intercourse between a married person and someone who is not their spouse. It is often considered a breach of marital vows and can have legal or social consequences, particularly in divorce proceedings, while the term infidelity is broader, encompassing various forms of unfaithfulness. Adultery specifically refers to the sexual act itself. All right. Now this right here, see what it says? It says, how does God, in the Bible, God considers adultery as sexual relations between a married person and someone other than their spouse. This includes a married man having sex with a married woman who is not his wife, or a married woman having sex with a man who is not her husband. The Bible also emphasizes that even lustful thoughts towards someone other than one's spouse can be considered adultery in the heart. All right, so let's go back through there. It says, this includes a married man having sex with a married woman who is not his wife, or a married woman having sex with a man who is not her husband. All right. So that's pretty clear. All right. But that's not what the world calls it. All right. They said it's generally defined between a married person and someone who is not their spouse. All right. But here's the thing. That's how the world describes it. The biblical way that they just put it is a little more on point. But the only thing is, see, when this devil was constructing America and coming up with all of this stuff, he had to be real sly and careful the way he did shit. All right, I'll show you what I mean. Let's go to Exodus 21 and 10. Verse 10, Exodus 21. It says, if he take him another wife, her food, raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. All right. So I think I need to start a little farther up. Let's start at verse 8. Verse 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed to sell her unto a strange nation. He shall have no power, seeing he hath dealt deceitfully with her. And if he hath betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. Let me go to the New Living Translation. If a man has married a slave wife, takes another wife for himself, he must not neglect the rights of the first wife to food, clothing, and sexual intimacy. If he fails in any of these three obligations, she may leave as a free woman without making any payment. All right, so that's the law concerning that. These laws out here, number one, you're not going to have no slave wife or nothing like that. But if a man takes on more than one wife, all right, the food and raiment of the first wife has to not be diminished, all right? So that's how that goes. Out here, it's considered adultery if a man is married and takes on another wife. Now, I can understand that out here legal terms, because that's why they made polygamy. It's called being a polygamist. They made it illegal so that you can't do that, and they did that so that we couldn't multiply. All right? Now, if you do take on another woman in this society, it's kind of dangerous, because she's not going to be a spouse just to you. She has the freedom to go out, all right, and be with other men while she's being with you. This is why in the kingdom, we're not going to have that problem. This is why all men, the women that are under his charge, he's responsible for them. If he got 10, if he got 5, if he got 1 wife and 9 virgins or whatever it is, they're under him. And those women know who their king is. This is why polygamy is, been established as the Most High's way of keeping the women in order. Because these women in the kingdom, they can't just branch off and go to another man, because that man's going to say, who's your king? All right? And have you espoused yourself to him, meaning have you had sexual intimacy with him? All right? So she can't just gad abroad and go out there and do that. All right? All of the women are going to be accounted for in the kingdom. All of them. You got virgins and you got wives. All right? Now, what I want to do is I want to go into 2 Samuel. Second Samuel chapter 11. Going to begin reading at verse 1. This is about David and Bathsheba. Great sin. And it came to pass, after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him, and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon, and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. So David sent the army out to fight. He was supposed to go with them. He didn't go. He stayed back. All right. And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah, the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house. Now, I'm going to give a New Living Translation so you know exactly what that means. Then David sent messengers to get her, and when she came to the place, he slept with her. She had just completed the purification rites after having her menstrual period. Then she returned home. So, she was just off her period. Now, when it's baby time, sometimes depends on the woman, 6-7 days after, that egg will drop. That's when she's a fertile myrtle. She's good for pregnancy from then all the way to the end of the month. All right. So he got her right after she was off her period. See? So David probably thought that she wasn't going to get pregnant. But she did. The first day off. All right? The first day. See? The thing about adultery is when you're trying to be slick, the Most High, most of the time, always make sure your ass get caught up. Thought he had it. First day off. All right. They were like, yeah, all right. And they're going back up there and wait for Uriah. Sounds fucked up, right? But that's what he did, man. Ain't gonna hold back. That's what he did. Verse 5. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child. And David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered. In other words, David was small talking him, bullshit. Oh, hey, Uriah, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, how's the battle going out there? How's the morale of the men? How's Joab? How's everybody? All right. You don't want to make it look too direct. See? And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house, wash your feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house. And there followed him a mess of meat from the king. All right. Verse 9. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. So everybody saw that Uriah didn't go in the house. See, even if Uriah didn't do nothing, if he would have went in that house, who's to say he didn't sleep with his wife? Right? He stayed outside. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down unto his house, David said unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down to thy house? You're like, why you didn't go in there? And Uriah said unto David, the ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into my house to eat and to drink and to lie with my wife? As thou livest, and as thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing. He refused. Joab had integrity. He like, I can't go in there, have fun with my wife while my brothers is out there dying, hungry, injured. I can't do that. His integrity wouldn't let him do it. See? And David said to Uriah, tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let you depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow. And when David called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at even he went out to lie on his bed with his servants of the Lord, but went not down to his house. Verse 14. And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter, saying, set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. And it came to pass, when Joab observed the city, that he assigned Uriah unto a place where he knew that valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. Then Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, when thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, and if so be that the king's wrath arise, and he say unto thee, wherefore approached ye so nigh unto the city, when ye did fight? Knew ye not that they would shoot from the wall? So David had Joab send Uriah to the hottest part of the battle and the most dangerous part, the archer's wall. So, as a mighty man, Uriah was able easily to handle 200 to 300 men. That's how hard they could fight back then. But an archer can't get away from no arrow. Probably took 2 to the chest and it killed him. So, verse 21. Who smote Abimelech, the son of Jerubasheth? Did not a woman cast a piece of a millstone upon him from the wall, that he died at Thebez? Why went ye nigh the wall? Then say thou, thy servant Uriah Hittite is dead also. So the messenger went and came and showed David all that Joab sent him. And the messenger said unto David, surely the men prevailed against us and came out unto us into the field, and we were upon them even unto the entering of the gate. And the shooters shot from off the wall upon thy servants, and some of the king's servants be dead, and thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. Then David said unto the messenger, thus shalt thou say unto Joab, let not this thing displease thee, for the sword devoureth one as well as another. Make thy battle more strong against the city, and overthrow it, and encourage thou him. And when the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah her husband was dead, she mourned for her husband. And when the morning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife, and bare him a son. But the thing that David had done had displeased the Lord. So, I don't know if any of y'all out there ever been cheated on. I have, yeah. I got fucked around on real good, couple times. One thing I noticed is when people do some dirty, ball greasy ass shit like that, it's a lot of maneuvering involved. A lot of shit that, gotta be put into it to hide what's going on. See? David shrouded it perfectly. But the Most High see everything, man. I don't care how you try to hide it. I don't care how you try to cover it up. I don't care how you try to shuffle it around. I don't care how you try to hide the peanut. And David was a king and did this. Right? Now Bathsheba, she really didn't have a choice in the matter. I'm not going to say that she did, but it's like, he a king, what you going to do? Tell him no? So that was a messed up spot. But the baby ended up dying. Most High got David ass, boy. He said the sword will never leave your house. He tortured David for the rest of his life for that shit. That's why he wrote Psalm 51. What he did was he took his Holy Spirit away from David, meaning that he didn't allow David to enjoy his presence no more. Yeah. See, the Most High is not going to let you enjoy him when you done something wicked. He's not going to do it, man. He's not going to let you do it. This is what David said. Let's go to Psalms 51. Psalm 51, verse 10. David said, create in me a clean heart, O power, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. See, he took it. David enjoyed spending time with the Father, man. He enjoyed it. That's all he had. The Most High was like, he turned his back on him. He said, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. So what David was doing was just going through the motions after that. See, when somebody does something that offends the power, that's why you got to get that thing out, man, as soon as you can. Because the longer you wait, the more it's going to separate you. Now this was crucial. All right. This was about as bad as it gets. All right. Now, I'm going to cut this video right now, and I'll be doing a part 2 shortly. Y'all stay put. All praises to Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahushai. It's your King and Shepherd, and I'll be returning with part 2 in just a minute. See y'all then. KD out. Shalom.